College football has a number of explosive and dynamic wide receivers. Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State comes to mind, but there are plenty of sleepers that don't get enough love, including one that deserves to be in the Biletnikoff discussion. We're going to take a look at some of these guys and discuss why they deserve more attention. We're going to start right off the bat. Danny Scudero at San Jose State deserves to be in the Biletnikoff discussion. He currently leads the country with 665 yards receiving, and he is someone that is a big-time threat to any secondary that he faces. Now, of course, everybody's going to say, okay, well, who does he play? Well, that's probably a fair argument if you're just looking at purely the top competition, the top wide receivers, but there are good wide receivers not at Power 4 programs. Danny Scudero is a perfect example of that. He has the explosiveness, good route running, the ability to create separation, and we talk about Jeremiah Smith and what he was able to do. And when you compare these two, the first thing you look at is, well, Jeremiah Smith didn't really do anything against Texas. And while you can say Texas has a good defense, how many people that are either voting for this award or in general that are going to argue against this can tell me a certain player that Jeremiah Smith was covered by, or any cornerback on Texas? That same secondary that Danny Scudero had 7 catches for 60 yards, and you're thinking, well, that's not great production. However, if you watch the game, if you watch the film, production is not the only thing to indicate how good a wide receiver is. Danny Scudero had that secondary in a blender. They had no idea where he was going, and the only reason why he didn't get the ball more is because Texas defensive front is so much better than San Jose State's. So Walker Egat did not have time to throw. Now, that's not my one argument for him. This guy deserves love. He is one of the best wide receivers in college football and deserves to be more in that conversation. And when you compare him to some of these other guys, he can compete with them in terms of talent, in terms of production. And as you can see so far this year, this is a guy 40 catches for 665 yards, and he's not just a possession receiver. He's averaging 16.6 yards per catch and 4 touchdowns. This is a guy who deserves a lot more love than he's getting and a lot more respect in that regard as well. Now, some other guys that maybe aren't going to be in that conversation for the Biletnikoff, but definitely deserve to be discussed. Chase Hendricks at Ohio. Ohio has been a very big surprise for the MAC, and it's been a team that's thrived because of Hendricks, because of Parker Navarro. Hendricks on the year has 37 catches for 585 yards, averaging 15.8 yards per catch and 4 touchdowns. Again, plays in the MAC, so not a lot of people are paying attention to him, but the production speaks for itself. Now, a guy who definitely can play himself into that discussion because he plays for the right team, which is very disappointing to say, but it is what it is. Emmanuel Henderson, the former Alabama transfer, has been the definition of explosive for Kansas. Jalen Daniels is off to his best start at quarterback in his career with the Jayhawks, and a big reason is because of Henderson. 28 catches for 488 yards. He's averaging over 17 yards per catch. He is exactly what Kansas needed him to be, exactly what they thought they were getting, and he is a big-time threat that can take the top off the defense. Then you get into a guy like Cooper Barkade. Everybody's been kind of talking about Darian Mensah with this Duke offense, and it's understandable. Andre Anthony has had his flashes as well, but the most consistent player for this team has been Barkade. 26 catches for 475 yards, averaging over 18 yards per catch and 4 touchdowns. Comes in from Harvard. You weren't exactly sure what you're getting in him, and so far he has been the model of consistency for this offense. UConn's offense hasn't been in the spotlight very much, but Skylar Bell is doing his part, and this is a UConn offense that is much better than I think people realize. It's just that the record is kind of keeping them out of people's discussions. 48 catches for 562 yards, 11.7 yards per catch, and near the top of the country with 6 receiving touchdowns. Again, UConn has been a fun team to watch offensively, and Skylar Bell is a big reason why. Now, Arizona has been a really fun team, an upstart team in 2025, and a big reason is the development of Noah Fafita. We had big questions about him coming into the year, and Javen Wiley has been a big reason why he's had success. He has been a quarterback that has focused primarily on Tedoroa McMillan, and it's been at times a struggle for him to find other receivers. This year, McMillan is off to the NFL, and it forced him to find guys like Wiley to be able to develop his progressions and be able to look at his second and third reads. Now, this passing attack has been huge because of their star wide receiver, but it's also helped their quarterback take a step in that way as well. And it's a big reason why Arizona has been kind of a surprise in the Big 12. Another Big 12 team that is surprising a little bit in terms of their explosiveness is Cincinnati. We knew that Brendan Sorsby could take steps in his development and show us that he can be a big time quarterback. Largely thanks to Caleb Goody. Only has 15 receptions on the year, but he's turned those 15 receptions into 334 yards, 22.3 yards per catch. He has been a big time threat, a deep threat for this offense. And it's been an offense that's, besides the Nebraska game, really exciting and really explosive. One thing that we're seeing in this list is that we're seeing quarterbacks either take that step or young guys that are stepping into the roles and delivering right away. Malik Washington at Maryland is a perfect example of that. And his wide receivers have helped him at times. And also, I think there have been some drops as well. But Malik Washington has been really fun. And a big reason for his success is Ben Shalik Knox. This is another guy that we didn't really talk about coming into the year, and he has been an explosive player for this Terrapins offense. 18 catches for 305 yards, almost 17 yards per catch, and 5 touchdowns. Again, Maryland's offense is really fun to watch because of the passing attack, and the scary part about this team is that that group can get even better. USF is another team that we thought could take a huge step in their production, in their explosiveness, and a big reason why was going to be Byron Brown. We knew that Byron Brown was back healthy and got back to his 2023 form, that this offense could be exciting. And Chaz Nimrod has also played a role in that. We thought about this offense and we didn't exactly know who's going to be the top wide receiver. And Nimrod and Keyshawn Singleton have emerged as those go-to guys. 19 catches for Nimrod, 421 yards, averaging 22.2 yards per catch, and 3 touchdowns. The former Tennessee transfer has been a nice fit in this offense. Not really that surprising, but his emergence as an explosive weapon downfield has been a nice development for a Bulls team that has their sights set on the college football playoff. The final guy we'll talk about that's flying under the radar, and not a lot of people are paying attention to Miami of Ohio, but Cam Perry has been the definition of explosive. And I know we talked about that but a bunch, but Cam Perry is a perfect example of that. 15 catches on the year, but he's turned that into 428 yards, averaging 28.5 yards per catch and 2 touchdowns. Now, again, the MAC is not going to get a ton of love, but as you can see, there are some dangerous threats downfield. There are some great vertical threats for offenses. Now, they haven't been getting the ball as much as maybe you'd like. Cam Perry specifically needs to get the ball a little bit more because it's clear that he knows what to do when the ball is in his hands. And that's going to be the list. Plenty of guys that, again, deserve more recognition than they're getting, deserve more respect. A couple of them that belong in the Biletnikoff discussion that aren't currently get that recognition. Definitely something to keep an eye on as the year progresses. Danny Scudero, very fun player. Emmanuel Henderson, Cooper Barkate, number of guys that, again, because we're mostly focusing on the Makai Lemons, the Jeremiah Smiths, not getting a ton of love, but these guys deserve to be in that conversation as well. If you liked the video, make sure you like it and subscribe to the channel. And as always, we'll see you in the next video.